Jane, who is a 10-year-old child, was recently referred by a psychologist for academic difficulties. She was administered the Wechsler's Intelligence Scale for Children, or WISC for short. The results of Jane's test shows she is in the average range of cognitive ability. Looking further, Jane is average with verbal and nonverbal reasoning abilities. Jane was administered 15 subtests from the WISC from which her composite scores come from. The full scale IQ is a combination of 10 subtest scores and is an estimate of global intellectual functioning. Jane is placed in the 42nd percentile in this department, meaning Jane's thinking and reasoning abilities exceed those of approximately 42% of children her age. Her verbal reasoning abilities are also average, as she placed in the 61st percentile of her peers. This means that Jane's verbal abilities exceed 61% of children her age. Jane's nonverbal reasoning abilities are also average, and she scored in the 55th percentile, which means Jane exceeds 55% of children her age. Jane's verbal comprehension and her nonverbal reasoning skills are her biggest strengths. However, Jane does seem to be struggling with working memory and her speed of processing abilities. Jane was placed in the 18th percentile of her peers in working memory. This means that Jane could be having problems with sustained attention, concentration, and mental control. Another one of Jane's weaknesses, processing speed, means that Jane could be lacking visual material quickly. This means that Jane may not be able to process a simple mental routine without making errors. This weakness in visual scanning may leave her less time and mental energy for the complex task of understanding new material. This could be what Dr. Jones saw in terms of academic difficulties. Performance and processing speeds could be influenced by visual discrimination and visual motor coordination. It was previously stated that Jane appeared to be having difficulties focusing visually, and she does need to get a full visual examination. This could be a factor in how low processing speed and how her low processing speeds scores. I would recommend the chunking strategy for Jane. This is a strategy that has pieces of information in larger chunks so that fewer bits need to be remembered. I also would recommend her family to give her tons of positive reinforcement in her efforts in completing her homework while diminishing an overall importance of her grades.